how can we use day parting? Is there any specific strategy that you use to implement?
But I would say both methods work. It really depends on the person who works.
So what are the impact that this branding and creative will have on the end goal to make a sale?
So your listing images are super important because you can have a great product.
So is there any way that have you thought about driving traffic from any other platforms through Amazon?
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Ecom Squeezed. I am your host Sebastian, and today we have a special guest who is an expert in Amazon PPC, Dimitri Nesmiianov. Dimitri is an experienced Amazon seller, a co-founder of SalesBite, and a PPC expert who helps brands scale their business effectively. But his story is much more than just the numbers and ads. From growing up in Ukraine and moving to Canada and now managing successful businesses, he got a unique journey that I can't wait to dive into it. Welcome to the show, Dimitri.
Hey Sebastian, thank you very much. I'm excited to share my experience and thank you for inviting me.
Could you just give us a background on how you started the consultancy and the company as well, and the story behind it?
Yeah. So it all started around 2017. I was living in Canada at that time and I was working a regular job, and I found out about the opportunity of selling on Amazon. So I tried launching my first product, and unfortunately it wasn't very successful. Because I was kind of excited. I did the launch, but back then I didn't do too much learning, so I was selling for some time. Then my product kind of wasn't profitable, but I learned about Amazon ads. I started working with some agencies, managing PPC on the side. Then I met my business partner. We cooperated together and started growing our own brand. Also, we tried the PPC agency. We're managing PPC for other brands, which we pivoted from. Now we do more of a consultancy now.
Okay, that's a good story. I want to start with some basic questions about PPC. And on Amazon, the PPC is changing all the time. And what are the biggest shifts that you have seen recently on Amazon PPC?
Well, honestly, there are a lot of new features that Amazon is rolling out, but I feel like 80% is actually what it was back in the day. We're still heavy on sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored display. Yes, there are lots of new features, but it's more like Amazon is giving us different data points, adding new metrics, adding some new tools. But I would say it's kind of pretty much the same as it was back in the day. Just more data now, and more data to analyze.
Yeah, that's very true. The old works still really well. And on that new system, or for example, if we take day parting, that's something came out recently, right? And how can we use day parting, right? Is there any specific strategy that you use to implement day parting or to get most out of that data that Amazon provides us?
Yeah, actually, I think day parting was also around for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Amazon did implement it sort of in the campaign manager, and we actually do use it. We use the software Scale Insights at the moment to manage our ads. We have it almost on autopilot, and in Scale Insights, we did set up the day parting. So basically the tool itself analyzes the performance during different hours and it pauses the ads. Usually it's early in the morning or late at night when people are clicking but not buying. So basically the tool is pausing the ads and we are saving some money. But you can also try do it manually through the campaign manager, which is a little bit more trickier.
Yeah. So on that follow-up, the automation side, so we can either, there are a lot of softwares on the market, AI automation, PPC and everything. So in your experience, if you want to automate the bidding, is it good, or manual still stands out in your experience?
Yeah, I actually, up until last year, I was against automation. We were doing PPC management mostly through bulk files and through other softwares that are more of a manual approach. But yeah, last year we tried Scale Insights, and it's not really automation, but it's rule-based bidding. So we do make some adjustments, but like maybe 80% of the work is automated by the rules we set. So we assign goals to each campaign, and then the tool does the automation, changing the bids, and we only monitor the performance. And when it's needed, usually around when the seasons are changing, might be changes in demand, then we will be adjusting those rules. So the tool will also do some readjustments. But I would say both methods work. It really depends on the person who works with the manual or with the automation. It depends on how you work with it, on what your preferences are. I would say I would recommend, if you want more manual approach, I would recommend a tool called AdLabs for PPC management. That's what we used before. They have a great dashboard with a lot of metrics that Amazon doesn't provide. So yeah, it's more of a manual approach. If you like automation, definitely Scale Insights. But again, it's better to set your own rules inside the tool, because they do offer some like templates for automation. But I think it's important to dig deeper, knowing your product, and set your own rules, knowing your own business metrics. So that's what we did, and that's why it's working for us.
Okay, and you mentioned about AdLabs, right? I think one of the owners is Stephen Notch.
Yeah.
Which I had a call with him last week to show that's something that we are planning to try out, the software. In your opinion, what's your take on AdLabs? How good is the software?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a great software if you are looking for a more manual approach. The best thing I like is their dashboards, the metrics. It's not only great for managing PPC, but also for doing the analysis. You can view the data in custom ways, and you can also assign kind of different optimization goals to your campaigns. So it's really like, you also need to spend some time learning how the tool works, but yeah, it gives you a lot of flexibility. It's not like someone will give you an answer or a template that you can use. But yeah, once you understand how the tool works, I think it's great.
Yeah. There are a lot of different data points while he was demoing the software. Okay. I just want to move on to the next one. That's the rising PPC cost. The bids and everything are going up and up and up again, right? So is there any, what are the methods that we can implement to keep that cost down? Is there any area that you normally look into when you audit an account?
Yeah, I think one of the best ways to fight raising PPC costs is work on your product's conversion rate, because the PPC cost is probably gonna grow no matter what, because there are more and more products being advertised on Amazon, and there is a limited real estate on the page. So the cost is just gonna grow no matter what. So yeah, you can fight it by actually working on your product, working on your content, and improving your conversion rate. Because if your conversion rate improves, you're gonna pay less for the ads, less for the clicks, and you're gonna convert with less clicks, meaning just paying less for the ads. So yeah, digging into your images, into your offer, understanding why your competitors might be better and how you can make your product be and look better. I think that's a good way to fight the rising costs.
That's great. And about this search query performance report, right? How can sellers utilize that report from Amazon, and what are the data points that you will normally look into?
Yeah, search query performance is a great source of information. We use it for keyword research. Also, when you stack the different time periods, you can see the trends of keywords volume. You can also, by combining some reports and doing some basic manipulation, you can check how your product is performing against the market. So yeah, we have an instruction for our team on how to combine certain products from search query performance, and by calculating different rows with data from that report, you can see whether your product is converting better or worse for a specific keyword. And from knowing that, you can try to do some optimization again with your content or with your PPC. So yeah, it's a very useful tool.
So, for example, for search query performance report, right? So if you do it manually, it might take a lot of time to go through, for example, impression share, click share and everything. Is there any easy way with the AI? For example, if you make a custom chat GPT, you just drag and drop that file and, it will do what it's been instructed on the custom chat GPT. Have you tried anything like that?
Yeah, I did play around with it. You can definitely teach ChatGPT. I like to play with different reports, but actually another tool we are using, it's called Sellerize. It's mainly for seeing your profits, and they just rolled out their search query performance analysis tool. So I think it's brand new, maybe a week or something. They just released it. So yeah, I was looking at it and it's great. It basically provides you all the data points you need. It shows you all the keywords, the trends, where you drop, where you gain. So yeah, I would probably look for some external tools, but yeah, it's possible also try something by yourself with AI.
Yeah, I saw that the same thing on LinkedIn about Sellerize and this search query performance. I was looking into the pricing and everything on the Sellerize. It's quite, the pricing is reasonable, I guess, very cheap. Other thing that I have found is that, when I scroll through your LinkedIn feed was you mentioned about branding and creatives on PPC. So what are the impact that this branding and creative will have on the end goal to make a sale, to make a buyer purchase from the listing?
Yeah, so your listing images are super important because you can have a great product, but if you didn't do a good job explaining this to a customer on Amazon through your content, your PPC can work bad. So spending a lot of time on your content, understanding your product, we use a lot of PickFu to test main images, infographics. So a main image can do a huge difference. Influences your click-through rate, and if you have a bad or unappealing main image, people won't even click on it. Or maybe you have a good main image, people will click on it, but then your infographics, they don't persuade the buyers. Your A+ content also doesn't help to convert. People might click and not buy. So yeah, knowing your product, what's its strong sides, what's the weak sides of your competition, you can all use this and craft content that will help you convert. Also, I recommend, more and more brands do this, using A+ premium content, which is really visually appealing. It takes more space on your listing. If you place important information about your product there, it will make the buyers spend more time on your listing, and also try answering any potential questions they might have in your content. Before, somewhere near the review section, there used to be frequently asked questions. Now I think Amazon replaced it with their AI feature, but you can still use Product Opportunity Explorer and see what your customers liking about your product, not liking, the same about competition, and put this all into content. Yeah.
And the next question, this is kind of a follow-up question. You mentioned about the Q&A, right? So it's moving to Rufus now. So it's mainly intent-based and, maybe use case scenario-based. So we know, people might ask a use case or a question type. So how can we include those on the PPC side? So, I think I already saw that on LinkedIn, there is sponsored advertising coming up on the refuse suggestion. So I think what we can do in order to add those question or use cases on the PPC side, and how can we implement it? There are different ad types, right? So what are the ad types you will target, and how you're going to implement it?
I honestly haven't seen it yet, that it appears on the Rufus. I know that SEO does influence if you appear there or not, so I can't tell you much about PPC, but SEO here is definitely important because, people are asking questions to the AI about the product, and you want to make sure that those possible questions like the keywords or some product related terms will be in your listing, so then the AI will recommend your product.
Yeah, and on the other one, let's assume that the conversion, a client came to you, right, for an audit, and one of the issues they have is like the conversion rate is not that good compared to the competition. So is there any quick fix that you can suggest them, like okay, it will be fixed like in a week, that can fix the issue?
Usually a lot of it comes to, again, content. So I would look at their top competitors, most similar products, see what they are doing for their content and how we are compared to them. Obviously consider the pricing, look at the PPC structure and PPC in general if there are any issues with it, and just try to find what can be fixed in this. A lot of it is content or SEO or PPC.
Again, we asked this before, like about the rising cost, right, on Amazon for PPC. So is there any way that, have you thought about driving traffic from outside, like Google AdWords or from Meta or from TikTok or any other platforms through Amazon? And Amazon loves external traffic, right? So do you plan anything like that to drive traffic?
We did try that, and I can say that it doesn't work for every brand, or at least it depends on your product. So for some brands, it doesn't work at all. Like we tried Google ads and the conversions are very low. For some brands, it does work. Well, basically, you can try targeting the same keywords that you target on Amazon, test different ad types, search keywords in the Google tool that they might be present on Amazon but related to your product. I think in most cases the results are still gonna be worse than with Amazon advertising, like the conversion rate, all of that. But if you do see a general lift after enabling those type of ads, you just need to try and balance with your overall profit those ads impact it and if it's worth running them. So it really depends on your brand. For some, the external ads will work, for some not. I know TikTok is a big thing now, also for external traffic, but it's a whole another topic.
Okay. For this, let's assume that it's a supplement brand, right? And the main thing that you focus on is to get new to brand customers, NTB, right? In that case, in that scenario, will you look into echoes, or is there any other KPIs that you will look into specifically? You are focusing on new to brand customers and to focus on repeated purchases.
So for new to brand, I assume we would need to work with influencers, get our product seen out there. Like if it's supplements, work with different fitness influencers. Like returning customers, Amazon has some good tools, like you can make people subscribe to your product. Especially if it's supplements and people like it, they will buy it regularly, like maybe once a month, once every couple months, I don't know, maybe even every couple weeks. So you can turn that feature on Amazon, incentivize them by giving like a certain discount if they're gonna repurchase it, and something like that.
Okay. And this question I always ask to PPC expert. In your ideal scenario, how do you structure a PPC campaign? Let's assume that the account have 5 ASINs and it's all on same subcategory. In that scenario, how do you structure the advertising campaign?
Yeah, so usually we would choose like a hero product, meaning the product that's converting the best. If assuming all those products share similar keywords, so we would pick the one that's converting the best and we would drive all the traffic to it. So we would focus all the generic keywords on this best one product, and then the rest of products, if they're like in one family of products, they would get their like product specific keywords if it's like by size or by color. So all the generic ones will be targeted for our hero. And what we do is we set up many exact campaigns for all of the keywords, especially for the keywords that are the most relevant, have the highest search volume. We set up exact one keywords campaigns so we can closely monitor their performance. We set up research campaigns like phrase broad, usually targeting like the root word of there can be a lot of like family of keywords united by some root word. So we would discover more keywords and then keep upgrading those to exacts and try to expand with other campaign types like product targeting, test sponsor brand, sponsor video if it's working, and yeah, something like that.
And for the let's assume that on the PPC funnel, so like awareness, top funnel, middle funnel, and bottom funnel, right? So on the top funnel, on the awareness funnel, what all campaign types do you normally use?
Yeah, I think there can be some like sponsor brand videos. Again, it really depends on your product, because for a lot of products, it's straightforward. It's sponsor products. If you are maybe doing a new product launch, or you have some complex product where you want people to know that such product exists, probably sponsor brand videos are good.
This is a short one. Ecos or tacos?
Yeah, I'd say tacos.
Okay, all there.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there, for the PPC campaigns, let's assume that you want to send a monthly report to the client, right? In that scenario, what all KPIs will you include in that monthly report? I mean, top level KPIs.
I think for most of clients, the most important thing is profit. So I would show how the ads are impacting the profit, what are our organic to PPC ratio. I wouldn't really dive deep into like each keyword performance or we did this and that unless the client wants this for some reason, but it's really like more technical stuff. So yeah, we just want to show the impact of advertising on business in general.
And you do consultancy, right, at the moment?
Yeah.
So for a brand, at what stage they have to do the consultancy? Is that before they start the business, or if they are running correctly on a monthly call, or what do you suggest? What's the frequency look like?
I mean, it can be a different type of consultancy. For example, what we do is basically some brands that already have a momentum, like maybe they're at 7 figures and they've hit a wall or they have some issues. So they would come to us and we would try to find for what's stopping them from growing or what issues they might have. But consultancy is good for any brand. Like even if you are starting, if you're new on Amazon, you probably don't know a lot of things. You can try learning them by yourself. You can purchase different courses. There are a lot of good ones out there, a lot of bad ones. But you can't become like an expert in every niche. So I would suggest, instead of just trying to learn everything by yourself, come to an expert. It doesn't have to be me, but look for expert in a specific area who can save you time and give you an answer to your question.
Okay. And the other one I want to ask you, for example, if you only 5,000 in budget, monthly budget on PPC campaigns, and let's assume they have 10 agents again, well established, but the only problem is that they only have 3 less than 4 stars review. And how do you approach that scenario? Will you say, okay, we can't do advertising now because the star rating is not good? That means the conversion will tank. So is there any specific checklist that you have saying if that doesn't fill the criteria, I will not do the advertising because it will not be profitable. So how does that checklist look like from your side?
Yeah, reviews are definitely important. If the product has low reviews, it definitely gonna impact the ads. So you still probably should run them because you need sales, you need to improve your organic ranks, but you have to understand, those low ratings are gonna be limiting it. So you need to do some external work beside PPC to improve those ratings, whether improving the product, working on the issues that people are not happy about with your manufacturer, and try to fix that. Also, some other issues is, again, poor content. The main image, infographics A+, it's not good, it's not helping to convert, or worse, it's preventing you from good conversion. And another one is probably issues with stock. So if you constantly go out of stock, it's gonna influence your overall business's performance, but also your ads. Because let's say you've been running ads for 1 month, you had some ACOS, some tacos that you're kind of happy about, then you go out of stock and you go back into stock, there will be a certain period where your metrics are gonna be much worse than before until you can improve them, because basically you lost all your ranks, you lost your positions, and you need to prove yourself to Amazon again. So this is gonna impact the business.
Good, great, thank you. And the other one I want to ask you about the keyword harvesting. So what all channels, or do you use third-party softwares, or do you take the keywords within Amazon? How do you harvest keywords?
The easiest way of keyword harvesting is just downloading your search terms report, and we have the research campaigns. So those are usually phrase, broad, auto campaigns. So you can find in your search term reports what keywords or search terms are being triggered there, if they're good to be upgraded to exact, if they have good metrics, if they're relevant. Then, like I mentioned earlier, search query performance is also great. It can pick up some additional keywords. I would say those 2 tools that are available on Amazon should be more than enough. You can also definitely use external tools. We love Data Dive, we use it a lot, but mainly for other purposes. But you can also find some additional keywords there.
Okay. I have a follow-up question on Data Dive. They have that heat map, right, for each keyword. How useful is that? Do you use it on a regular basis, or could you just give me your thought about the heat map?
It's extremely useful. It's probably what we use the most in Data Dive now, because it shows the organic rank for your products on each keyword. And a lot of Amazon sellers, they can have a question like, my sales dropped all of a sudden. So if you are tracking your keyword ranks and you can see that, like, this week your main keyword was organic position under 5, and then all of a sudden it dropped. So you answer the question right away, why my sales dropped? Well, because something happened and you lost the ranks. So I think it's super critical to monitor it every day. What are your organic ranks for your top keywords, for different routes of keywords? See why you might be losing them or try to improve them. Because our goal is to get as much close as to position 1 in organic for as most of keywords as possible. Also, you can make it shows in the form of heat map, and you have each day. You can also make different notes. So if you had some change, let's say you changed your main image or you adjusted your bids, you can make a note there. And also, if you see that your organic rank is improving or decreasing, you can then also potentially see the reason why. Maybe your new main image is not working and it's negatively impacting your organic rank.
A word come to my mind also. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it, right? A lot of people, that's the main thing about heat map. And Dmytro, it's been an amazing conversation. Thanks a lot for sharing all those wonderful knowledge. So where can the viewers find you?
Yeah, I guess the best way is LinkedIn or Facebook. Maybe we can drop the links below. So yeah, if you're interested in consultation or if you have some questions, you can shoot me a message.
Great. I'll put the LinkedIn profile and a booking call link as well down in the show notes. Thanks a lot for coming down here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sebastian. Thank you for great questions.
Thank you, Dmytro.